two cameras, or
This one is, yeah.
that's the HD, right?
Yeah. And I want you to tell me the story about what happened when you graduated. All right. Why you missed graduation.
Okay. And we'll get this as the two Cokes coming. Well, I missed graduation due to one name, James Brown.
Anyway, so
What happened on that particular day was, as everyone around me knew, I was a James Brown fanatic. My parents got so concerned that they sent me to the doctors. They sent me to the shrink, because I just had all this paraphernalia in my room. I mean, posters, everything, and I was learning how to walk, talk, and move like him. Well, unbeknownst to me at the time, because we're going to go to 1968, but actually in 1964, there was this thing called the Tammy Show, TAMI, and it was Teenage Awards Musical Instrumentals, International rather, and they had the James Brown Show was going to be on this particular Tammy Show. But it was for the British invasion. The British invasion, meaning the Rolling Stones, Jerry and the Pacemakers were the top-selling group, and so this was going to be on TV. It was on 1964. I didn't know. So now we jump right up to 1968. It's the day of the Andover graduation. I'm supposed to actually graduate that day, which was quite phenomenal because I had been in many classes, and due to James Brown and my musical explorations, I could never go to class. So, I was always busy in the band. So it was quite phenomenal that I was even going to graduate, according to my parents, particularly my mother at the time. So here we are, all getting ready to go, and I have my green schmuck on. Green is the color of the Archers. I have my green schmuck on, and I'll just never forget this. We're getting ready to go, and on the TV is announced that the Tammy Show is going to be on 1968, and that was what I had waited for my whole life. My whole life I've waited to see this guy because I've been now studying the moves of one famous James Brown. So my mother's getting ready to go, and I'm sitting in the living room, and on comes the black and white TV, the James Brown Show. She says, "We got to go." And I just never forget, I put my hand on her arm, and I said, "I'm not going." And she fell apart, of course. I sat down in the chair, and I proceeded to watch the show. And like I said, they had the Rolling Stones are going to be on, and all this was leading up to James Brown. And she's pacing, and she's sweating because her little boy is going to graduate, and I'm not even interested in it. I'm telling her I could learn more from watching this than I could from ever going to high school or even graduating. Well, she's on the floor dismayed about the whole thing, and she's getting steamed, and I was adamant in my stance, and I said, I am not leaving. I've waited my whole life. I'm watching this. So sure enough, on the TV, ladies and gentlemen, James Brown and his famous Flames, and this guy comes out one side, checkered jacket, and he's dancing. He's on one leg, and he's just doing his whole thing. And I'm like a little boy. I'm just in awe of this thing. And my mother is really, really screaming at this point. And I will not leave, and I will not falter. And I am in front of that TV. And I'm learning and mimicking every step he's doing. Just as a side note, I was in a band called Terry and the Uptights. And we actually, the next day, I had a checkered jacket, and I was on my knees in the band. So on with the show, and it's going on and on and on, and my mother's pacing. We're going to miss the thing, and I said, I don't care. This is more important. So finally, the thing ends, and I get up, and she says, okay, maybe we can make it. We just have to rush to the house. So we rush out of the house, and I'm in my green schmuck, and that's all I have on, in my little square green cardboard cap with the tassel hanging down, right? And we jump in the car, and we drive to Andover High School, which I live in Lincoln, so it wasn't far away at all. And there they are. All the Green Archers are on the stage, crossing the stage, getting the diploma. They also have a green schmuck on, but they have a white shirt on. I have no white shirt. My mother's breaking down in tears, the poor sweet soul. And I love my mother so much. We were very, very close. It was due to her that I watched it anyway. Another second side note, she would have me propped up in front of that black and white TV watching all those old musicals. And that's where I learned how to maybe sing and dance or get the bug, you might say. So anyway, she was so flustered that I didn't have a white shirt, and I'm on the stage and I grabbed the handkerchief. And I never forget, put the handkerchief around my neck, pulled up that green schmuck, and I walked and strolled and almost danced across the stage in time to get the diploma. End of the story. Everybody was happy. And to this day, I watch the Tammy Show over and over again all the time.
And you were the last one to graduate, right?
Probably so. Bob Bauer's here today at Squisitos. And the date today is October 26th.
Yes.
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, time flies, right?
It sure does.
Right. And you can go right to the website and you can see us mimicking James even as of, in September we did it. So here's to you, Bob. Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
All right.
Look at him as a mixture between a fullback and a wide receiver.
Blocker, fullback, wide receiver.